some live girl chat. Are you guys ready?
There's so much to talk about.
Yes, so much to talk about. Don't forget to head over to the Real Daytime's Instagram page and use the hashtag #GirlChatLive to join in on the conversation. First up, if you think people were mad at Kanye West for wearing that Donald Trump hat, you ain't seen nothing yet. Kanye, who's been making headlines lately for tweeting his thoughts 24/7, decided to stop by TMZ Live yesterday for an in-depth sit-down interview. And people aren't exactly pleased with one specific claim he made on the show. Take a look.
You hear about slavery for 400 years. For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race, blacks and whites being one race, that we're the human race.
Well, Kanye's opinions didn't sit well with many people, especially TMZ producer Van Lathan, who confronted Kanye in the newsroom immediately after his remarks. Take a look.
Do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that
is because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. And while you are making music and being an artist and living the life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. Frankly, I'm disappointed, I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
Well, Van received support from so many people who praised him for, quote, schooling Kanye and giving him a much-needed history lesson. So what was it like to stand up to Kanye West? Why don't we ask Van? Van, are you there?
Well, Van, I'm a fan.
Okay. Van is a fan. Yes, you're a fan. Van, thank you so much for joining us today. People everywhere are applauding what you had to say to Kanye yesterday. What made you decide to speak up?
He was speaking to us. Like typically when people come in and do interviews on TMZ Live, they talk with Harvey and Charles, and they're up on the stage and you can chime in if you want. He decided that he was going to turn around and address the room directly. And when he addressed the room directly, he asked for critiques of his opinions. And one opinion that he had was woefully inaccurate and dangerous. And I just thought it was incumbent upon me to let him know that.
Now, Van, I am so glad you did. At one point, you guys were arguing. You were arguing with Kanye, and then he told you to stop screaming because it, quote, makes us look crazy. What went through your mind when he said that?
That's what you think makes you look crazy? No.
For real.
No, what went through my mind is look crazy in front of home. Whenever I talk to people about, you're embarrassing black people, you setting black people back, you're doing these things, whenever someone comes in front of who? Who are we trying to look pristine in front of? What standard are we attempting to meet? The standard that we should be attempting to meet is the standard of our ideas and our values, and that's our standard.
Yeah.
So, if we gotta scream a little bit right now, then we gotta scream a little bit, and everybody else gonna hear us scream.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, last night, Kanye sent out a series of tweets clarifying his comments, saying in part, to make myself clear, of course I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will. My point is for us to have stayed in that position, even though the numbers were on our side, means that we were mentally enslaved. So, Van, does that at all change how you feel?
Absolutely not. And the reason it doesn't is because of two things. Number one, slavery was a multi-front war that was fought against people of color. It involved the ripping apart of families. It involved actual physical shackles. It involved all different types of things. And you can't sum it up by any one thing. And there are history books out there that everyone can be free to read or is free to read on the atrocities of slavery. When you start breaking it down by choice, that is doing a disservice to the survivors that my ancestors were, who endured all of those terrible things. And I could be on the real talking to you ladies right now. And whatever happens going forward, those people will be respected and revered.
You are so well-spoken. You really are. When I watch the clip, I have to tell you, especially because maybe the environment that you work in, you know, you would assume that you would go for the headlines, go for something super dramatic, but the way you handled it and the words and the choices, the choice you made to use the words that you did is a great example of how we should all treat each other today and when we disrespect or when we disagree with each other.
And Van,
I commend you for that.
This
That was
is
so
the thing.
good.
Remember, we always say on this show, Van, that we think that all people, we need to have diversity, especially in our newsrooms. We need to have a Jamal the intern. That's our
what she
running
always
joke.
calls it.
You were my Jamal the intern yesterday, bruh.
Yes.
You was it.
Now, Van, TMZ is reporting that Kanye, he might have trouble regulating his meds based on what you saw yesterday. Do you think Kanye is stable right now?
Listen, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
I don't know. I know that the stream of consciousness rant that we witnessed from Kanye West yesterday is consistent with the Kanye West that we've always known. He's always sort of been that guy. Obviously, in the last years, we've covered it here at TMZ. He's had some mental issues, and I'm not sure whether or not he was having them then. But what I do know is it really doesn't matter to me. It matters to me as far as how he's doing, and I would want anybody to be doing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Kanye West has such reach and such power that his words matter and they resonate with people.
Yes.
And because of that, we have to make sure that those words are sensical and that they're landing in the right spots. It's not about calling him out. Don't want to call anybody out. It's about calling them in and letting the brother know when he's off his square.
I want you to be my friend, Van. Let's be friends. Let's hang out.
Van, you are such a good soul.
Good guy,
Seriously. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
No problem. I appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Van.
Bye. Make sure to watch Van on TMZ and TMZ Live every day. Check your local listings for when it's on in your area. Wow, ladies, this is definitely a lot to take in.
Yeah.
What did you think when you first heard Kanye's comments?
Well, going back to what Van just said, you don't know if he's still on anything, but I'm just like, is it still in his system? Like, he could have just had some water maybe just to, like, clear it all out? Because it seemed like it was hard to follow his thread of speech, you know? But I will say this. Amidst everything he said and the hurtful words that we can't remove, what I did catch on to is that Kanye cares. He cares almost too much about what people think about him. And before he made that comment, he was going into, you guys make fun of me. You guys make fun and call me fat. You guys are the reason why Rob didn't go to the wedding. Like, the things he thought about traumatized him and made him go to the point of admitting as a rapper that he got lipo. Is rapper and lipo even in the same sentence? Like, I didn't think people do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel for him, though, and I feel for him now because I see that he just overly cares about what people think. And then, when Van was hurt and stood up to him, what we didn't show in the clip is that he went to Van and he said, I'm sorry for hurting you. I'm sorry. And so I think that it's one of those situations where when you care so much about what people think, we talk about it here all the time, that the comments can hit us and it gets you. But imagine the amount that he gets and the pressures that he's dealing with. I just really hope you get better, Kanye. I really, really hope, because I look up to you and I want to see you do better and I respect your music. I don't want to see you go down. That's all.
Okay.
I watched the whole thing, and I'm a huge Kanye West fan. So many of us love his music, and it was heartbreaking for me. I have to be honest. I felt scared watching it. I felt sad. I wasn't sure where the conversation. It was kind of all over the place, and that's scary. And I literally was like, you think of his family, you think of his children, you like. I felt sad, and I don't know how to, do you know what I'm saying? Even in the moment when he was saying, you guys called me fat. And in that moment, I just heard what he had said prior to that, which was 400 years of slavery. And even with the comment of being enslaved in your mind, you're not in shackles. You weren't brought from somewhere else in a boat. And You were enslaved in your mind, so imagine those people.
Well,
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
wants the Monday quarterback slavery. Slavery was real, just like the Holocaust is real, and it's dangerous, the conversation that he was having. That's why it's important for us to talk about it, because this is what happens when you don't have history lessons in school, when you don't teach social studies correctly. You have people like him trying to spread misinformation. I am so happy that Vance spoke up and that there was somebody there to actually, you know, kind of reel him back in. There is some psychosis, I believe, that's happening with him. You can tell. I deal with mental illness in my family. I deal with drug use. I grew up around, and I'm not saying he is this, but I've grown up around drug users and mentally ill people. And there's something going on with him in my mind, okay? Yeah. I want him to get help, but also, as we get help, we have to be able to speak out and the things that he's misinforming people about, because the bottom line is, here's a lot of things that he was saying. One thing I do think he has an issue with Barack Obama, because Barack Obama called him a jackass because what he did with Taylor Swift. Yeah. And ever since then, he's had this vendetta against Barack Obama, and he's upset because, you know, of that. Then it's the whole, you know, he's trying to sell an album. Well, you don't get people to buy your albums by discrediting your own people, okay? It's not gonna work.
I actually agree with Adrian. I know, I agree with you. When I was watching it, I actually had to, like, turn it off. Because one, I was just confused. Like, he was just, you know, going spewing all over the place. I really couldn't connect his thoughts and really get what he was truly trying to say. So it literally made me sad. And
so sad.
Like you said, Jeannie, you can hear that he's a very sensitive soul, and he cares too much about what other people think. He's coming off as, you know, I'm this free thought, strong individual, but at the same time, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I see a person who's weak, who's weak in the mind. And actually, Cardi B was talking about this, you know, when she receives a lot of negative comments. She wants to protect herself from becoming insane. Yeah. You know, you can care too much, and you can let the public define you so much that you actually end up losing who you are.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what I kind of see what's going on. He's trying to please this, he's trying to please that person, and I immediately thought of his family, his kids. One day they're gonna have to see this. And another thing is, where are the people that love him? Because I know that if that was my husband, you know that cane that you see on the Apollo? I would be like, come on, baby, come on. Let's go somewhere and
you know what?
And let's try to get.
I totally agree with you, and those are personal issues, and I get that, but at the end of the day, he cannot disrespect my ancestors.
No,
I
truly believe
accountability for what he did.
And this is the question that I want to ask. I truly believe he's so in his own mind, he doesn't understand the weight of his words and his platform in the right way. Yes. He understands his platform in other ways about getting attention. Yes. But I want him to literally ask himself, if he met his ancestors, would he have the guts to actually say that to them in their face?
Well, I mean, look at what he did with Van.
Do you know what I mean?
When Van approached him, he even had to think, because he had that look on his face like this.
Yeah.
You know,
he had the look of, what did I just say?
Right, and then that's when he went over to him, and he was like, you know, I'm sorry if I hurt you. It's like you had to pull him in. Yeah. So you are correct. There are people around him that maybe, you know, you got a lot of yes people. You have a lot of people that really don't,
but that's
you know.
not love. Love says step in and like,
no, but you know what? I'm going to tell you something. We're going to keep checking Kanye because we're not going to let him readdress our history and trivialize it. That's not going to happen. Not as long as I'm on TV, not as long as Van is on TV, and go to Twitter because there's a lot of people that believe in that.
Love and hip-hop Atlanta star Rasheeda Frost is trying hard to forgive her husband, Kirk, for cheating on her. And one of the ways she's trying to do that is by letting him move back into their house.
I you, sister.
But it's not that simple. After the latest episode, many viewers called Rasheeda petty after she did a little redecorating before Kirk was allowed to move back in. Check it out.
Kirk's real problem is he doesn't understand nor respect boundaries. And now that he's back in the house, I don't want any confusion. So I'm spelling it all out for him.
This is how it works. You stay on that side, and this is my side. Stay
Really?
on your side, just like that.
So, ladies, do you think Rasheeda's in the right here? I mean, would you be able to let a cheating man back into your home?
Why?
Yeah.
Why get a man that's gonna love you and respect you
Yes.
instead of putting tape down your house and messing up your furniture?
Your home is your place of peace.
Yes.
It should be your place of refueling. It should be a protecting shelter from the world. You don't want to also be all like, you know, on edge about who you are hating in that moment in your house. Like, I can't even deal with that. But I do get the petty Betty side of her and what she's doing, you know, because I remember, like, when you'd get in fights with somebody you don't like, you know, like, if they try to touch you, you're like, don't touch me. If your toes touch a bed, you're like, ugh. You know, so I get that. But I would be even pettier than that. I would, like, I would tape down, like, the sandwiches he's not allowed to eat, like, cut off the Q-tips. He would only get the nubs to try to use that to clean his ears. I'm so petty, I'm a mess, man. How about put some tape on your heart and on your self-respect and say, this is my boundaries. You can't come into my heart, into my world. Not, Jesus, not to quote Kanye West, but my presence is a present. And I do agree that you should believe that it is a gift to be in my presence. It is, and you have disrespected me, therefore you can't be in my space. You're not allowed. You're not allowed in my heart, in my space, in my, you get what I, like.
Yeah, I got you.
I just wish as women we, because this is my thing. I don't believe a man would do that.
Well,
I don't believe that you could cheat on a man, have a baby with somebody else, and come back and he'll be like, I'm just gonna put some tape right here. You stay on that side. I said, men don't put up with that crap. Why do women put up with this crap? Why would you even want to be around somebody that's done something like that to you?
I wouldn't even let him in my house, period. I don't know. We've talked about this before. Like, I don't, maybe women have this expectation that sometimes it is not okay, but you kind of like you think they're gonna cheat more than not cheat. Do you see what I'm saying?
If they're out the house?
No. I mean, in general. I think women make excuses sometimes for men who cheat.
Yes.
And I don't know why we do that. And that's exactly what you were saying.
Because women aren't working on valuing themselves and building their self-confidence to see how high and mighty and worthy they are. We are all queens, but we forget that crown that's up there, you know?
Sometimes, though, it's just good old-fashioned love. And
what do you mean, Lonnie?
When you say love, love is a many strange things, okay?
What do you mean? Where's the love? Is blind.
No, I mean, we can sit back and we can act like, well, you know, but when you fall in love with a person, you overlook a lot of things. A lot of things. And you put up with a lot of things. And women put up with a lot more than men because they fall in love.
He got a stripper pregnant.
But you gotta love yourself more than you love the man.
Yeah. I know, it's easy to say that. You guys say that, but then if that was the case...
She's just saying everybody in their life somewhere has dealt with something that is unfathomable in a relationship because your love was blind. You weren't seeing what you're worth. But that's where we got to draw the line. You got to make it real clear that you cheat, you lost this prize here. It is done. No more. Out. That's it. Well, on that note, we have to take a break, but don't go anywhere. There's more live girl chat on the way right after this. You're watching The Real. Some more girl chat. That ringing must mean it's time for The Real's Hotline Bling.
Caller, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Patrick Harris. I'm originally from Detroit.
Yes,
but currently I teach 5th and 6th grade here in Washington, D.C.
All right. Patrick, you're watching us on Fox 5. Now, do you watch us? Well, you're working during the day, right?
I am working, but I do have a DVR at home.
You know what? This week we are celebrating amazing educators all over the country, and you're in luck because this is The Real's Teachers Week. We love teachers. Now, what is your favorite favorite part about teaching, Patrick?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. I think first, just the love that I get from my students and I get to give to my students is amazing. Also, just being able to wake my students up. We're currently learning about the Flint water crisis. We're investigating the Black Panther Party. So there are just so many cool things that we're doing in this classroom to prepare them to be the change that they want to see in the world. So I'm excited.
Mr. Harris, you're so smashing in fashion, too. Can I see what you're wearing? Can I just see the whole fit?
I did this for you, Jeannie.
Guys, be still my heart. I would have a crush on you, Mr. Harris.
I love the pink tie. Okay, Mr. Harris, how do you feel about playing a quick round of Shoutrageous?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we're going to read you a topic, and then you'll have 30 seconds to guess as many items in that topic as possible. If you can get at least 3 right, you'll win a little bit of cold, hard cash.
Ew.
I know you can do this.
Let's
I don't
go.
even have to ask you.
Okay, Mr. Harris, your topic is things students shouldn't be doing while in class. Go.
Sleeping, talking, on their cell phone.
Talking, texting.
Let's see, playing around, throwing things.
Keep going.
Jumping on their desk. Playing around, going crazy. Running around.
You got it.
Well, you've already got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. You guys good. You actually got 4 already.
Yes.
Now,
so you know what? That's it. We out of town. So
you only need it.
So we're gonna give you the money. How much money are we giving him? $500. That's what you get.